Hey everyone, I just want to share with you this really amazing insight the Lord gave to me just now. There's a portion of scripture in Jeremiah chapter 32, and around verse 6 it says, Jeremiah said, "The word of the Lord came to me. Hanamel, son of Shallum, your uncle, is going to come to you and say, buy my field at Anathoth, because as nearest relative it is your right and duty to buy it." Then, just as the Lord said, my cousin Hanamel came to me in the courtyard of the guard and said, buy my field at Anathoth in the territory of Benjamin, since it is your right to redeem it and possess it and buy it for yourself. And so Jeremiah goes on to say, I knew that this was the word of the Lord. So I bought the field at Anathoth from my cousin Hanamel and weighed out for him 17 shekels of silver. I signed and sealed the deed, had it witnessed, and weighed out the silver on the scales. I took the deed of purchase, the sealed copy of terms and conditions, as well as the unsealed copy, and gave it to the deed to Baruch, son of Neriah. Just then, as I read that, they weighed out the shekels of silver. Some months ago, I was at the gas pump and they had this tag on there, and it said weights and measures, and it's a portion of governmental regulatory body. But just then that struck me, and as I just kind of thought about that, weights and measures, I felt the Lord say, how do I measure things? How do I measure? And as I thought about it, he reminds me, the ark, the boat. How did I measure the Ark of the Covenant? How did I measure the New Jerusalem? And there was a couple others. But this comes back to me as it related to this. And so for the 17 shekels of silver, they weighed it out. In this time, the money was weighed. So the value that was associated to it was a weight. Now, we see in our culture, in our society, our money or our value has a face value. A $100 bill is worth $100 because it has a $100 numerical value assigned to it. There's a face value, and that's how we assign it culturally. But then it was weight-based. And so we see that our value of money has face value rather than a weight value. Now, I think this is a beautiful illustration of how societally we undervalue weight and we overvalue face value. When I can't think of how many times that I've assessed something and on the surface assigned a value to it, whether I would be interested or not interested in it, and brush things off because I have a face value assigned to it, where I believe the Lord is challenging me in this, and perhaps some that this hits deep in their heart, to stop assigning a face value to people, to situations. If we have a homeless person stand up and say a thing, and we have the president or a president of the United States say the same thing, the person of higher authority carries a weight with the things that they say. And so what I believe the Lord's saying is we need to realign how we measure things. And even in the church, we're tempted to measure things or value them based on numerical. How many people are there? Different outreaches, different ways that we numerically assess a value. And what the Lord is really wanting us to do is, what weight does it carry? culturally, we even see this problem in beauty and image. We turn away from weight, and people want to be, smaller and skinnier and slimmer, and we associate that with a measure of beauty, when in reality, on the surface, the person may appear to be healthy, but deep beyond the surface or the face value, they could be just excruciatingly in bad health. As Jesus rebuked some of the Pharisees and called them in whitewashed tombs, beautiful on the outside and nothing but death inside. So I think this lines up with some of the things that, with what Christ echoed is, or originally spoke, is our misassignment of value based on surface, based on face value. And so I would just challenge us, as we experience life and all the many, multiple ways that we engage things, is defend your hearts and minds against assigning face value, and allow the weight of what is there to impact that deep place in your heart and mind. So just wanted to get on and share that. Hope that hits you in a meaningful way as it did me, and appreciate you taking the time to check this out. So have a great day. God bless.